The lovely folks over at Tigerlab Vinyl were kind enough to send me a few of their earliest releases that I missed out on. They didn't ask me to make a video on it or anything, they just appreciated my support, and it's just kind of crazy to think about still. But to show my appreciation for that, I thought I'd share with you guys my entire Tigerlab Vinyl collection. I have at least one variant to all of their numbered releases, with some exceptions, and I'll mention them as we get to it. Going on to number 1, their very first release was Wicked City, the original score by Osamu Shoji, and this is not one you want to be watching with the kids around, because quite a bit of adult content here. I saw this on Retro Crush. This is not a sponsor for them or anything, but shout out to those guys because they are making vintage anime very accessible, and that's exactly how I was able to watch Wicked City. Pretty cool when they reference John Carpenter's The Thing in here, which is just freaking wild to me. The one that I have here is a repress, and it's this blue color, which I believe looks very different than the mock-up art they have on like their website, unless the variant I have is a completely different one than that. I couldn't find anything on it. The very first pressing that they did, it has very different art on it, but this one has not just the same art that's on like the anime cover that you see, but also the original Japanese pressing had the same art on it as well, so that's pretty cool. But yeah, that's Wicked City there. Going on to number 2, this is Devilman The Birth. Now, I'm not too familiar with Devilman. I haven't seen any of the series. I am familiar with Kenji Kawai though. He's a, great composer. And for a series called Devilman, this soundtrack is quite heavenly. I mean, you've got some very beautiful tracks in here. And of course, you have that up-tempo kind of Kenji Kawai style in here as well that you can expect from Kawai. What's also cool here, for a series called Devilman, you gotta have some rock or metal in here, right? The last 2 tracks, Light It Up and Show Must Go On, are by the Japanese rock band Anthem. It only feels appropriate to end Devilman's soundtrack with some electric guitar. But that is Devilman and Tigerlab's second release. So the first one that Tigerlabs sent me, Perfect Blue. This is their 3rd release, and I'm just over the moon that I have this now. There's a number of represses and stuff on it as well. I've just always missed it. It feels really good to have this. Just the artwork on it, absolutely beautiful. I mean, Satoshi Kon, absolute must-haves in terms of just movies in your collection. And the soundtrack here is by Masahiro Ikumi and Yuji Yoshida, and I'm telling you, man, like, there's no sham in here, but the majority of the tracks that are on here really speak to, that dissociative identity disorder that, Mima is going through in the movie. It really complements that, psychological thriller aspect of Perfect Blue. You could say it's quite the perfect soundtrack for it. Tigerlabs has since shown us a deluxe edition for the Perfect Blue soundtrack, and it's coming out. I'm legit recording this a day before its release, April 28th, I believe. Yeah, it's 27th. The 28th is when it comes out. Quick update on the Perfect Blue Deluxe Edition. It's actually been delayed by a week, so now the new release date is May 5th at 11 a.m. Eastern Time. The reason for the delay, Tigerlabs is going to be releasing some wearable Perfect Blue merch. For those who are interested in the wearable merch, as well as the records, they wanted everything to release all at the same time, so it saves people on shipping. That's not the only thing to come out of this update. We also have some new variants to look at. The very first image we got of the Deluxe Edition, it almost looked like each disc was like disc 1 and disc 2. It's really looking like they are their own variants. So if you wanted that translucent blue with the pink swirl in it, that's its own variant. So you'll get 2 discs that look like that in your copy. Same goes for if you wanted the clear with pink swirl. That'll come with 2 discs that look just like that one. The 2 new ones that we have, the 2 other variants, we have a blue-green with a blood splatter on it. This is neat because one of the represses for the 33 RPM one, it was this blue-green color, except now with the Deluxe, it has the blood splatter on it, which is pretty neat. For the 4th variant, we have an opaque blue and I want to say peach split. And the 5th variant is actually going to be a black variant. The difference with that one compared to the other ones, the black variant is going to be 180 grams. So those are the 5 variants of this Perfect Blue Deluxe Edition, which is pretty wild. So let me know which one you've got eyes for, but that is all for this update. Back to it. But yeah, the Deluxe Edition, it's going to be 45 RPM, so that's why you're seeing 2 discs for that one. They just look amazing. They look like, wow, they're so freaking, dare I say, perfect. I'm really hoping to land a copy of that one as well. So their number 4 release was Urotsukidoji. This is one of those adult anime. I haven't seen this anime. I've seen some video clips here and there that are surprisingly up on YouTube, but the music though, there's some tracks in here like a New World. That one is like JRPG, you just beat the game worthy. I also got their website exclusive variant, which is just this very nice pink and purple swirl or merge. Very beautiful records, but yeah, that is number 4, Urotsukidoji, Legend of the Overfiend. So this is the second of the 3 records that Tigerlabs sent me, and that is Vampire Hunter D, Bloodlust. This is number 5. We have the iconic scene of D catching the arrow in the movie, which is really cool. But what's even cooler here is the composer's original score by Marco D'Ambrosio. He made music for Stardust Crusaders. Pretty cool stuff, but one of my favorite things is just D's theme. It's a pretty short piece, but it definitely left an impression on me. It's just got like this perfect sound for what Hunter D is, you know? I might have actually played some of it as well. I added a little more drums to it, but you gotta check this track out. Thank you so much for that, Tigerlab. This is, again, just really cool. Thank you. So this is the third and final one that Tigerlab sent me in that package. This is their first pressing of Berserk. And this is just the coolest thing. I had the deluxe edition already, one of the represses for deluxe as well, Griffith Blood Splatter edition. You can't not have it, you know what I mean? Even though I have the deluxe 45 RPM, the this is how you want to listen to it versions, it's just a stunning work of art. This is, you know, the same cover art that's on the original anime. And that's why I love this even more because, you know, that's the way to watch it as well. That is number 6. And to condense this video a little bit, that's also number 19 as well with the deluxe edition versions of the same soundtrack. Thanks again, Tigerlab. This is very, very awesome of you guys. Thanks. Going on to number 7. This is the anime soundtrack that made me fall in love with anime soundtracks. You know, it's like I definitely have a nostalgic element to this series, but it goes beyond nostalgia for me because it's just not only beautiful pieces in here, but like those really dark and like I'm a fan of horror and I love the kind of music that just gives you a feeling of that. But yeah, I'm a huge fan of the soundtrack series. I've got the translucent pink Lucy edition and also the gold variant of this as well. This is that Gustav Klimt gold. And that leads me to do a little more condensing here because their 24th release was also Elfen Lied, and thank you to Sentai Filmworks for allowing this amazing artwork to be on this, you know, jacket and in the art book within it. I have both the Lucy split version, which is this, you know, Lucy pink horn white split, and then like this splatter on it. It's just gorgeous. And then I have the Lucy marble as well, which very interestingly, looking at the images and everything, I thought it was like the Nana variant, and it got later announced that it is in fact a Lucy marble. And yeah, I mean, deep down to me, it's still Nana, but I mean, you could see the shade of pinkish purple that it is. The other 2 variants of this, because there were 4 variants of this repress, there's a neon red, that's all the anime's exclusive one. And that's one where, I mean, if you're advertising something, you know, I get it, you want to build hype around it and everything, but they said Gustav Klimt would be jealous of it. I mean, if you're mentioning Gustav Klimt, you'd expect something gold. He's known for his golden age art and everything. So I would have maybe promoted it differently, but whatever, it's all good. All the anime, you're still awesome. Thank you for providing another variant for those to get a chance of having it in their collections. Light in the Attic though, they have an exclusive clear variant, but that's the Invisible Hands edition. I mean, come on. But that's release number 7 and 24, Elfen Lied. Going on to number 8, Death Note. I've shown this on the channel a few times. Everything about this is just perfect to me. You know, like the jacket itself is the Death Note pages and everything. The records themselves are this white with black ink spill on it, and it's just like, it's just so cool. Death Note is a modern classic, obviously. It's a must watch for anyone. My favorite piece, aside from Low Up Solipsism, obviously, my favorite piece has always been Light Lights Up Light. It's a very beautiful, very classical piece. And in volume 1, it's, you know, like an orchestral version of it. My favorite, being someone who plays piano and all that, is the piano version of it as well. And that's what makes me really excited about their number 15 release, which is the Death Note Deluxe Edition box set, the Apple Edition. It's been in production for 2 years now at this point. Tigerlabs told me that. Hopefully we get it soon, but the piano version of Light Lights Up Light is what I'm really looking forward to listening to on vinyl if I'm lucky enough to land a copy of the Apple edition there. But yeah, that is release number 8, Death Note, and then volumes 1, 2, and 3 all together is going to be the number 15 release. But number 9, we're looking at Demon City Shinjuku, which I find surprisingly therapeutic. Listening to this entire album, I could almost just like fall asleep to it. Like it is calming, relaxing. It's very nice. I don't know. It's like if you were in space going in like hyperspeed and it was going to take you some time to get to your destination, you're just kind of like watching the stars pass by and you're just vibing. Like, I don't know. It's just, that's the feel I get with this soundtrack. I don't know. Maybe I'm just spewing nonsense, but I haven't seen Demon City Shinjuku or anything, but I imagine that it's also one catered to an older audience. I'm sure it's also the sequel to Wicked City, because it looks like it's the same guy. I mean, if it is a sequel to Wicked City, that'd be pretty dope, and I would be into that. But that is release number 9, Demon City Shinjuku. Release number 10, this is Golgo 13, and this is a reissue. It has been on vinyl before. Scores by Toshiyuki Kimori, and this is an awesome jazzy soundtrack and everything. It's really, really cool. It's got almost that kind of like you just walked into a bar and there's some live music playing. It's almost got kind of like that kind of vibe to it. I mean, Tail and Nose, first track on side B, is just freaking awesome. I've got the Tiger's Eye variant. This is their website exclusive one, and it just looks stunning. As for the anime, I haven't watched it. It is on Retro Crush, but every single time I sat down and tried to watch it, it kept getting stuck right at the very beginning. Audio kept going, but it was just on a still shot. So hopefully I'd be able to watch it that way, but if anything, not the end of the world. But that is release number 10, Golgo 13. For release number 11, we have Urotsukidoji number 2, obviously the sequel to the first Urotsukidoji. Everything about the series, I'm just gonna echo that of the first one. Haven't seen it or anything, but what I can say about the music on the grooves, you know, the kind of music you'd hear in like a 90s anime when the main characters like introducing themselves and stuff. Some of the tracks that's on there sound just like that, and it's great. As for the records though, I did get their website exclusive one. It's like green with these like orange spots on it. It's very, very neat. But that's their 11th release, Urotsukidoji number 2. So release number 12, 3x3 Eyes, Legend of the Divine Demon. Now this one, if you are a fan of Inuyasha, Tigerlabs mentioned they will also be pressing a record of. Even if you don't know 3x3 Eyes, you want this soundtrack. It is such an Inuyasha sounding soundtrack, which is weird to say because it's more so that Inuyasha sounds like 3x3 Eyes since this came out before it, but yeah, I've become a fan of the series. I mean, both these records are super neat. I love the brown one, the brown marble. So glad that was the wide release. But Inuyasha fans, don't sleep on this. I'm telling you, you won't be disappointed. But that is release number 12. So number 13 is Devilman Demon Bird. Also, again, what I said about the first Devilman, I'm gonna echo with this one. I haven't seen the series. I'm not too familiar with it. I have been trying to get the Blu-ray on Right Stuff. I just haven't had, you know, I'll get them at some point, but I went with the Demon Bird version of it. There was a Devilman variant, which was like this red marble, and then the other one was white with this yellow splatter, and I haven't seen that before. So I thought I'd go with that one since it's a bit different for me. That is release number 13, Devilman Demon Bird. Number 14 is Hunter x Hunter. I absolutely love this. I mean, you guys know I've been watching it since after I got the soundtrack, and I absolutely love this soundtrack. I have both the Gon variant, and I did double dip, so I also have the Leorio variant as well. The composer, Yoshihisa Hirano, he made music for Death Note as well, but I read an article. I'll try to link the article in the description, but he was in a hospital because his daughters were being born, and he actually wrote the World of Adventurers inspired by his daughters being born. So I don't know, it's just a very nice detail that, you know, thinking about that, and then when you listen to the piece now and you hear how wondrous it is, and you can only imagine, you know, how happy he was at the time, and I don't know, it's just a good all-around feeling that the music gives you as well, you know. As release number 14, Hunter x Hunter. Number 15, I mentioned earlier that it's the Death Note Deluxe Edition or the Apple Edition box set that's going to be coming out. So going to number 16, Tokyo Godfathers. This is another Satoshi Kon film. I love this release. I got their store exclusive, which is this very nice translucent orange swirl. It really looks like the embers that you see kind of like in the cover art here and everything. Out of all Satoshi Kon's films, Tokyo Godfathers is the one that you can easily get into, easily understand. It's a very straightforward film compared to all of his other ones, and it is a shame that we lost Satoshi Kon as early as we did, because I can only imagine what more he had in store for us, But yeah, that's release number 16, Tokyo Godfathers. Release number 17, Vampire Hunter D. This is the original movie. This is a reissue. This isn't the first time that it's been on vinyl. The original Japanese pressing has, an OB strip and everything. Tigerlabs did an incredible job reissuing this, and I'll link an interview with Yoshitaka Amano in the description. It's a very high quality interview that I've seen. You could also look up visual artists on Discogs as well. So like any illustrator who's had their art put onto a jacket, you can do that. I actually have one of the Gwyn Saga records because, Yoshitaka Amano's art is on it. And the music is very stylistically close to Nobu Matsu's as well. It's a very interesting one there. I'll link that one in the description too. But that's Vampire Hunter D. I have both the Blood Moon and Blood Splatter there. So the next one would be number 18. I don't know what that one is. I asked Tigerlab about it. They haven't got back to me on it specifically. So I don't know if the Perfect Blue Deluxe Edition is going to be labeled number 18 or what that might be. I just don't know. If you happen to know what number 18 is, just let me know, because I'm curious to know what that is. But number 19, I mentioned earlier, was the Berserk Deluxe Edition. But going into number 20 is Tigerlab's first non-anime release, and that is Kickboxer. This is a film starring Jean-Claude Van Damme and the original score by Paul Herzog. There were two variants of this. One was the glass and blood splatter variant, which if you've seen the film, which I have now, that was definitely the variant to get. Like that's super cool. I got the Naksu Cow edition, which is in opaque white. The soundtrack, very calming, very relaxing, it's very zen, despite what Jean-Claude Van Damme looks like there. The soundtrack would make you feel opposite of that, so yeah. But yeah, it's number 20, Kickboxer. Tigerlab's 21st release is Kaiji Ultimate Survivor, and I am such a fan of this series now. I didn't know anything about this series before, but since then I've watched the entire thing. Yeah, it's definitely up there for me. It's very interesting how you keep on rooting for Kaiji, and the anime just keeps reminding you that, hey, you're rooting for someone who has a gambling addiction. So seeing Kaiji get out of the situations he puts himself in is definitely a hell of a ride. The original score is by Hideki Taniguchi. He also worked on Death Note. So if you like the Death Note soundtrack, this is one definitely worth checking out. You see this game right here, it's called E-Card. Now, Tigerlabs doesn't offer this or anything, and I'm pretty sure this isn't a legit thing, but just look at this. They look so legit. They look incredible. You have there we go. So cool. And then like the back of it as well, just like in the anime. So hey, if you want to play a game of E-Card, we'll play for some vinyl, I'm joking. I don't encourage gambling. If there's anything we can learn from Kaiji, but I got this off of a, eBay listing or whatever. So yeah, that was Tigerlab's number 21. Number 22 was one of those exceptions that I mentioned at the beginning of the video. It was also Kaiji, but it was a 7-inch record if you got the 3rd subscription. Honestly, an extra I wish I had, now having watched the series. I don't know what it looks like either. I know that one side is etched, and it would be super neat if it's etched with the thing that you hear throughout the series. This stuff right here, like those characters there, if that's etched on the back of that record, oh man, I really missed out. Anyway, going on to the final one here, this is release number 23. Now again, 24 was Elfen Lied that I mentioned earlier. They did the represses for them. Redline is number 23. Original score by James Shimoji, and yeah, this anime holds up. If someone told you this movie just came out, I would believe them, because this looks amazing. Madhouse, this film is just incredible. If you like your high octane, it's got that energy, and the soundtrack does too. Grooves as well. There's a lot of like very nice sounding tracks in here too. But I have both the Red Marble variant and the Trans Am variant. So obviously the Trans Am, it's a very nice looking record, but I was honestly really surprised at the Red Marble. I knew that it was gonna look a bit more than the image that we had on their site, but it's just got this really nice look to it. And I was honestly more surprised with the Red Marble one than I was with the Trans Am one, honestly. But that's Redline, and that is also my Tigerlab vinyl collection. I just want to thank Tigerlab Vinyl, not just for sending me a few of the records that I missed out on, but also just for continuing to surprise us with even more, anime soundtracks. And you guys are they're honestly doing some really, really awesome work. Really looking forward to their 4th subscription. I mean, Inuyasha, freaking Pet Shop of Horrors, and Death Parade. I mean, come on. Tigerlab Vinyl does like their horror, so what's the soundtrack to a horror anime that you'd like to see get pressed on vinyl? Comment down below, because I'd love to see what you guys would be excited for. Personally, I would love to see the Junji Ito collection get pressed on vinyl. It's all in good fun, but again, big thanks to Tigerlab Vinyl for sending me those records. Keep on listening to the music that make these animes so great. I will see you in the next video. Thank you.